Mortal Kombat 12 will be the next NetherRealm game, and I'm laying out all the proof in today's video. Next month will be the Video Game Awards, and that's our best shot at getting a reveal of the next Mortal Kombat game. In fact, even Brusque Poet thinks so, and that man is always crushing my hopes and dreams, telling me to snort copium on Twitter. And the thing is, he's usually right, so if he's excited, then you should be excited too, because that man never allows himself to hope, so that's good news if he is hopeful. So without any further ado, let's begin. I'm going to give you every reason why Mortal Kombat 12 is the next game that NetherRealm is making. And I'm going to start with the facts, alright, because rumors are just rumors. So here's evidence straight from the creator himself. Ed Boon went on record during an interview and said, "We are breaking the pattern." And some people tried to dig into this and say he meant something different, but the reality is, in the original statement, he did mention both games, Injustice and Mortal Kombat. So when Ed Boon said break the pattern, there's no other way to interpret it. He means there's not going to be Injustice after Mortal Kombat this time. Until recently, the games went Mortal Kombat Injustice, Mortal Kombat Injustice, Mortal Kombat, but this time it's going to be Mortal Kombat again, because NetherRealm Studios is breaking the pattern. And now it's time for evidence number 2. During his various Q&A sessions on Twitter, Ed Boon has been hinting that certain Mortal Kombat characters are going to return. And there's really no reason for him to do that if the next game is not Mortal Kombat related. And the best part is, he seems extra excited to talk about the 3D era characters, which are a fan favorite but have been shockingly missing from most of the new NetherRealm games. And he's not even being vague. Ed Boon is mentioning specific characters like Chameleon, saying yeah, they will return. And that's one more big reason I truly believe Mortal Kombat is the next game, because why else would he be discussing these potential characters? It would make no sense to talk about a game that's 5 years later from now. As someone who's worked in game design, if you're 5 years away from your launch day, nothing is concrete yet, and you would not know which characters are confirmed on the roster yet. Especially characters that are not mainstream like Chameleon. Scorpion, yeah, he's gonna be there no matter what. Sub-Zero, yeah, gonna be there no matter what. But Chameleon, come on, he wouldn't be talking about these characters unless Mortal Kombat was next. And don't forget about the timing, and that's evidence number 3. Mortal Kombat recently had its 30th anniversary, and I think it's very likely that NetherRealm wanted to show something on the anniversary date, but they just didn't have it ready yet. Like I've said before on this channel many times, NetherRealm always goes big with their reveals. It's never something simple like a screenshot. So unless they have a full trailer ready, they're not going to show you anything. It has to be a big reveal. That's just how NetherRealm works. And sadly, they just didn't have anything ready by the 30th anniversary, which means our best hope is the Game Awards, which once again is happening in September. And if we don't get anything then, it's either going to be right before the end of the year or early next year that we get the reveal. Even though nothing big got revealed on the 30th anniversary, it would make no sense for NetherRealm to make anything but a Mortal Kombat game this close to their big anniversary. If they were to announce Injustice 3 instead, that would be like announcing a Mortal Kombat game on Batman's birthday or something like that. And finally, we have evidence number 4, which is that NetherRealm themselves leaked Mortal Kombat 12 on Twitter. One of the developers wanted to showcase his collection, but accidentally leaked some code in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And what made this code so exciting and got everybody going crazy on Twitter is it said reptile. Now here's the thing, pretty much everybody knows by now this leak was done on purpose to stir up excitement on Twitter. NetherRealm had no discussion happening, and that's bad for a game company, so they leaked this on purpose to get everyone talking and stir up discussion once again, get all the fans excited. However, since this leak was planned, some people have said it's a red herring, and NetherRealm's actually going to make the opposite, because why would they leak a game that they're actually working on? And there is merit to that theory, but I cannot imagine the fan outrage if NetherRealm hinted one game and then released a different one. There would be rioting in the streets, and I would not be shocked if fans actually boycotted the game over that blatant misinformation. It's one thing to tease your audience, but it's something else entirely to just straight up lie to them. If NetherRealm does reveal Injustice 3 instead of Mortal Kombat 12, that would be like Namco Bandai hinting at Tekken 8, but then revealing Soul Calibur 7 instead. Can you imagine how upset players would be about that? Because even though both games are great, you got us excited for one thing and then gave us something else. Because don't forget, it wasn't that long ago that NetherRealm accidentally leaked Ash Williams, and then that character just never showed up, and plenty of players have never forgiven the studio for that. So now imagine that, but it's an entire game, not just a single DLC character. Yeah, like I said, the fan outrage would be crazy, and a bunch of players would definitely boycott the game, at least for a couple of months, and that's not good. And wait, there's actually one more crucial piece of evidence that I forgot about until I was done recording. I was editing the video and then I remembered this. Exactly 7 months ago, on March 16th, one of the writers returned to NetherRealm Studio, and they announced their return. And that's a big deal because this writer does not work on the Injustice games, he only works on the Mortal Kombat games. So if that man just returned to NetherRealm Studios, then it's very likely they're working on Mortal Kombat 12. Because the only other possibility is that for some reason he's now writing Injustice, which was never the case before. Could it happen? Absolutely. Is it likely? Not so much. Once again, this man wrote the story for Mortal Kombat Kombat 11, and I think maybe Mortal Kombat X and possibly Mortal Kombat 9 too. So if that man returned to NetherRealm Studios on March 16th of this year, then chances are he began work on the story for Mortal Kombat 12. Because like we already learned in a different interview, the story is done before anything else in the Mortal Kombat games. And that makes sense because the story mode is a very big selling point for the NetherRealm games, especially to the casual audience, and like it or not, a majority of the players are casual fans. Listen, nobody hates normies more than me, alright, but normies are the most common type of player, so you gotta cater to them. Alright, so that's it for the facts, so now it's time for the rumors, which can honestly be just as fun. A long time ago, almost a year before today, a streamer let it slip that Mortal Kombat was the next game NetherRealm was working on. And why did he do this, you might be asking? Well, because the chat said, what have you heard about Injustice 3? And this mad lad straight up said, nothing. Actually, we've heard a lot about a Mortal Kombat game they're working on, and the internet went wild. On that day, every Injustice fan had their hopes and dreams crushed, myself included. I love Injustice. Now, I love Mortal Kombat too, so I'm happy either way, but still, I was surprised. And ever since then, no one's been able to debunk his claim, and this guy has a pretty good reputation, so there's no reason he would straight up lie. But even so, is what he said solid evidence? No, it's just a rumor. We can't prove it or disprove it, so it's not a fact. And then next up, we have the massive game leak. I believe it was Nvidia or something like that. There was a massive hack, and this leaked a bunch of games that were being worked on that nobody knew about yet. And one of the games listed was Mortal Kombat 12, which got a lot of people excited, but here's the thing, it also leaked Injustice 3. And you might be wondering, how is that possible? Is NetherRealm working on two games at once? It is definitely possible, but there's actually a much simpler explanation. You see, this website actually includes fake games on its list. That way, if it ever gets hacked, nobody knows what game is real and which one's fake. Which is honestly super smart when you think about it. They're playing 4D chess. This website was ready to be hacked, which is good, because it certainly was hacked, and we still don't know which games are legit and which ones are fake. And then finally, for the last rumor, we have the Time Warner merger. This rumor is the biggest by far, but there is still some merit to it. As there is with a lot of rumors, there's always some tiny credibility there. Despite the Injustice series featuring the most famous DC comic book heroes, the games never tend to outsell the Mortal Kombat games. And since Warner Brothers Games recently merged with a new company, it makes sense they want to impress the new owners. And the best way to do that is to make as much money as possible. And like mentioned earlier, Mortal Kombat is their big earner. It's their heavy hitter. So if NetherRealm wants to prove they're a very valuable asset to their new owners, then Mortal Kombat is the best choice of action. So once again, this rumor does have merit to it, but there is one tiny issue. They did state during this interview that nothing has been canceled, which means if this rumor is true, it means that NetherRealm knew the merger was happening way in advance, long before anybody else in the public eye, which does kind of make sense. And as a result, they started working on Mortal Kombat 12 long before the merger even happened or became public, which honestly isn't that big of a stretch. I could definitely see this rumor being true, but it has the least evidence to back it up. The logic of this rumor is sound, but there's just no proof that NetherRealm ever changed what they were making or made something specifically for the merger. And as far as the rumors go, I'm about done, so that's about it for all the evidence that Mortal Kombat 12 is going to be the next NetherRealm game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Once again, I'm a massive Injustice fan, so do not get it twisted. I love those games, I love the characters too. DC Comics, love it. So I'm not here to burn bridges and try to force the future and change destiny by just saying what I want more. Because the reality is, I'm indifferent. If we got Injustice 3, I'd be super excited. If we got Mortal Kombat 12, I'd be super excited. I just want more content. In case my channel didn't give it away, I love fighting games, especially NetherRealm fighting games, so no matter what we get, I'm going to be excited. Unless we got Shaolin Monks 2 or a Shaolin Monks remake, that would make me a bit less happy. Not because the games are bad. The games are phenomenal, the costume designs are fun, it's a good game overall. I would just be worried as a content creator because I can't make too many videos about a single player game. I just can't. I'm not a walkthrough channel. And of course, it's also sad that the Marvel fighting game by NetherRealm has been debunked completely. NetherRealm was never working on that. They had a fun discussion with some Marvel people, but that's about it. They never made any permanent plans. Ed Boon said so on Twitter. The conversation didn't go to anything deep, which means all those leaks on Reddit were of course fake, but what else can you expect? Reddit is where fake leaks go to die, so it makes perfect sense that a lot of them are bogus. But what is Mortal Kombat 12 going to be like? Well, we do have some hints. Ed Boon has discussed tag team battle multiple times in his Q&A sessions, so I think it's very likely that game mode is going to return for Mortal Kombat 12, which is exciting. And then as far as the story and setting goes, I do think it's going to be a sequel to Mortal Kombat 11 where Liu Kang travels to the past and changes history. However, the issue is that setting would limit which characters they can use, especially famous characters like Scorpion. He was not around yet. And as a result, I would not be shocked if something happens to merge the different time periods. So you're going to have the past during the Great Kung Lao era, but you're also going to have the future, so characters like Johnny Cage and Scorpion can come back. Either that's going to happen or the game is going to have two parts parts with a massive time skip in between. So one part's going to be in the past during the Great Kung Lao era, and then the second half of the game is going to take place in the future with Cassie Cage and the Kombat Kids. But once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. What game do you think NetherRealm is making next, and which one do you want more? Let me know both in the comments below. And then smash that like button if you enjoyed. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell, that way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.